Okay, back again. I've just made some more changes to the Hack and Slash RPG. As you can see, now on pickup, I've now picked up a consumable item. What I've done is duplicated the item that was used for the weapons, duplicated, called it a consumable item. As you can see here, with the struct, this was done prior to 4.12 by the looks. I'm using 4.12. So if you drag off of the struct and you type set member character struct, it will do this. But then you go like click the right mouse button, it says split struct. You can't split it. So what you have to do is detach, and then you can split the struct. I haven't touched this, but when I copied it, duplicated the blueprint, I had that drama where you can pull off of here. Sorry, once you create a new struct, consumable inventory struct, I named it. It's basically just a duplication of the character inventory struct. As you can see, they're both exactly the same. Only thing I've changed is I created a new enum consumable items, which is here. Consumable items, I've just put 3 in there for now. And then just changed it to consumable items, enum. And then in here, where it was item info, I then changed it to consumable item info and changed the struct to consumable. The same struct was just created. And then what you do then is you go into your construction script, drag off of on construction, set members in. As you can see here, it's got all the structs set up. It says here structs. Scroll down to the name that you named the struct. In my case, I named it consumable inventory struct. It does that. What you do then is you right mouse click, split it. And then what you do is you then connect everything up, and also you'll have, if you copied it, you'll have an item type, it's an enum set there. You then change that to whatever name you want to call it and change it to the name of your enum that you made. And then what you do then is you just connect those pins all up again. And then what you got to do is then get your struct, set it, and then connect it up. If you don't do this process, I'll show you what happens. It's taken a while to load because I got a few of the blueprints open. Alright, see, it doesn't set it. As you can see here, they are there. Looks like it's freaking playing up again. Alright. Consumable 1. I'll just put them back in again. Starter content, shapes, sphere. Alright. And exactly the same thing with that. So what you have to do is you have to set it, otherwise it doesn't know what it's doing. I'll put new ones in again. And what you do is, well, once you got it, duplicate it, what you got to do is you got to make a child off of it. Exactly the same thing as what some of the item. In my case, what you do is you go click on it, create child blueprint class, and give it a name. In my case, I named it item consumable. Then once you get in, add in a collision. So just right click on there and go collision. Set whatever type of collision you want. In my case, I made a sphere, and then I just named it. And then what you do then is you then drag it in, and then you set what items you want. Where is it? Shapes. Wonder what's going on here. It's playing up. Oh, that's why. Because of that. Alright. Change that shape. Size 0.2. Give it a name. Health. Potion. And then the same thing I'll do with this one here. Symbol 2. Change it to 0.2. Stamina. Potion. And I'll give it a texture. If you're wondering where I got these icons from, I just did a Google search and come across some free ones. These are only just place setters for now. So I've got something to see in the inventory. Alright. Save. So that will set all that up. Now we've got to do then is go into the event graph. As you can see, it's basically all the same. All I've done is I've dragged out the struct, got it, split it, and then if you have a look on your in your items, you'll see where they're all connected up. And the idea is then to connect everything up so it's right. And then what I did was I changed all the names so I knew what they were, so there was no conflicts between this blueprint and this one. So I just changed the variables to the name of what it is, the consumable. And then on here, where it says equipped upon clicked, all I've done is I've just created make it easier, click on here, created a custom event, created a variable, called it, and gave it a name, and then put it under the blueprint type. In this case, it is consumable item, and it's a reference. Also on the construct, on the item used, I then put the inputs, which is the enum that you create, and also the blueprint type. So then you can then connect them up. So depending on which one it will be, then you will either set add health, whatever you want to do. I haven't connected that up yet. Also with the on pickup, it's exactly the same as the item. On pickup item. It's basically it's just a copy. And then what I've done is I created a variable in RPG character, which is a consumable inventory, and done exactly the same thing as you would do for the item here. Set it all up so it goes through and it will add the item to the inventory. So that's the pickup done. Now, the inventory. What I've done with this was basically the same as I did before with the blueprint of this one. I just duplicated it, exactly the same thing. I duplicated it, gave it a different name. The difference is you can't use these buttons. See, it says inventory button. On this one here, as you can see, I had to create a new one, which is basically I just duplicated exactly the same one, duplicate it, renamed it, and then changed the struct name. I also changed these names here so there's no conflicts between the two. Made sure everything's all connected up in both the text and the image, and then went through the process of removing all the buttons that were previously there, and then just finding the new buttons that I made and just drag them in, fill it out to how many spaces you want in your inventory, and then go through the same process as you would with the inventory. All I've done is then went through, created new interface references such as this one here, refresh consumable. I also added another custom event and created another bind event in the character. So when I'd pick up something, it would then add it to the where'd I put it? What's a pickup event? Where'd I put it? Consumable button pressed, which is basically dispatcher. And put it there. So when this button is pressed and the menu is open, it will then fire that. But I also changed the menu, because I had to then, when I then dropped it in, it then, I needed to do a reference, but because I've already got these here and I'm going to do a custom event, you can only fire one at a time. What I did was I changed the names to either menu select event or return to menu event, and then I got the menu, got the current button, and then did a switch on int, and then created custom events depending on which interface that you're going to be using, and then you set that up. So it's got here consumable inventory open, set on 0, character inventory open, set on 1, and exactly the same thing on the return. It's just so the inventory closed, character inventory closed, and then exactly the same thing as you did with the character inventory. Set this and refresh inventory and character inventory active, and turning off the character inventory. You're doing exactly the same thing for the consumables all the way through. So then you set everything all up like that, exactly the same. And it's just changing names and that, so there is no conflicts between one user interface or the other. Once you don't do all that, go through the process of doing all that, you should have it working. As you can see here, you walk up to it, it says what it is: a health potion, stamina potion. Pick the item up, character inventory is nothing in there, normal inventory, and there we are. I haven't set the use yet, and destroy and add to whatever stamina or health. I haven't added them yet. So as you can see, still all works. So you can then use one or the other. It doesn't affect the other interface. And that's how I've done all that. The other thing too is using a switch on int. It only fires on the current button that's used in the inventory. So it knows that it was on X number when I opened up a certain consumable or certain inventory or other menu. Then when you hit the back button, it then knows exactly it's already got that same button already used, set up on there for when it goes back. So you can use that to then open up as many windows, UI windows that you want. So I don't think there was anything else I've done. That's about it. So basically all you do is you just copy in everything what was in the normal inventory, just change names, and that's so there is no conflicts between them. It's just a lot easier. As you can see here, I just changed it like consumable slot, where previously it was in the inventory, it was created slot. Change name, so then you don't have to go through and create the whole new inventory again. It's just duplicate and then rename everything. Only thing that you have to do is just drop all the these blueprints in to here, and that's it basically. It just takes time to do that, but once it's done that, then it's pretty simple. And there you are. You'll have 2 inventory pickups, so then you can then set up any way you want. So you might have one doing weapons on your character, and if you want to have another one on your character that actually does your body armor, so then you can then add the whatever you want. Exactly the same with these potions here, consumables. I've added potions. You might want to also add in pickups such as like food and all that. So, and the way this is done at this stage seems to be working pretty fine. If I have any other dramas, I'll let you know. The only other thing I've changed was this here. As you can see, I've got a sequence in here now. The reason for that is when I was trying to work out the reason why something wasn't working with the consumable item, I thought it was in here. So I went in to the interaction part here and added another, what would you say, an interface, which was used, where it was a use trigger. Well, this one here is a consumable use trigger. It's basically, it's to do with, as you can see here, by the looks of it, he was using it for when you're interacting with an NPC or with, we'll just say, an enemy, and when it would drop something, you can then interact with it. Right, I think that's about it that I've done. Yeah, so at this stage, as you can see here, just copied exactly what I've done there and brought it down for the consumable pickup. So you know exactly how many you want to have in there. If you only want to have a few in there, whatever. And that still runs off the same button. Just put a sequence in and set it true, and exactly the same that. That's about it. So it's just basically copy what was done for the initial item pickup. It's quite simple. Alright then. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. It's only a 25 minute one, and I'll see you next time when I've had some more stuff. Okay, bye.